I performed well. I came fourth at the Olympics in Rio, and I failed. I failed to win a medal because three people were better than me, and that is the simple reason. It was not because of my sight that broke or any other reason, but it was just because there were three people slightly better than me on that particular day. But I think it was about acceptance. The moment this table collapsed and people around me, I saw horror on their faces. I just smiled and I just laughed, and I went to my bag and I had another sight, not the sight which I had made for Rio, but I had an alternative sight which was the regular one. I took it out, put it onto my rifle, and went out to shoot. It was about accepting the situation and accepting it as soon as possible, and that is what I did. It was about not having self-pity, because sometimes when we are faced with adversity, we spend so much energy in just pitying ourselves. No need for that. It's just going to drain you. It's just going to take that focus away from what you're supposed to do. So just get back to it. Try and find a solution. Focus on the solution. Try and live in the moment. That's what I did. I didn't know that my rifle was also going to work, because it fell down. It broke. It had this impact, but thankfully now there was no damage done. It was about trying to live in the moment, trying to adapt to situations, trying to have that creativity in my mindset, in my mentality, but also just being open, having that openness. Okay, there is something wrong's happened, something bad's happened. What can you do? Nothing. What you can do is put on your alternative sight and try and give it your best. Try and focus one shot at a time. Try and give each shot the best that you can. And that is what I try to do. Live in the moment. When you go into competition, and when you're going to go into difficult moments in your life, or you're walking into a difficult situation at work, you have to try and simplify. And that is what I try to do. You have to try and complicate it in preparation, because that's where you want to try and achieve perfection, and in terms of trying to take every vertical out of the equation. But in the moment of truth, when competition is tough, it's ugly, it's not going to be some walk in the park. It will require that creativity, adaptability. It'll require courage. It will require guts. There are going to be times in a competitive environment, where you're just about trying to get every little part of your skill together, and you're just happy with that. Forget thinking about breaking world records. You're just trying to get your skill set together, because you have that pressure, you have that nervousness. But live in the moment, accept that situation, and that is what I precisely did. And I'm very proud of what I was able to achieve. I don't have a medal to show for it, but I have tremendous amount of pride in what I was able to do. I have tremendous amount of internal satisfaction. And most importantly, I had a great closure to my sports career. I had a great closure to my sports career because there was a complete absence of regret. I absolutely had no regrets, so I can sleep very peacefully. While a lot of people thought that I have a very calm demeanor, I was a complete nervous wreck every time I competed. I was somebody who was completely assailed by a lot of anxiety, a lot of nerves, and for me, having self-belief is something which I struggled with throughout the course of my entire career. And really, I worked very hard to achieve self-belief. I worked with trainers, I worked with psychologists, I did a lot of work. But eventually, the transformational moment in my life really came when I stopped chasing self-belief and I started chasing self-respect, about waking up every day, doing my best, giving it my best, and asking myself the tough question, have I put in my best, cutting no corners, taking no detail was small enough for me to ignore, trying to take every vertical out of the equation in my preparation, and really giving it my best. And before I boarded my flight to Beijing, I asked myself that question, have I given it my best to prepare for these Olympic Games? And the answer was yes. I humanly could have done absolutely nothing more to prepare better. And there came my self-respect. I was a winner. I was a winner in my own eyes even before I shot the first shot, the first competition shot at that Olympic competition. And that was the most powerful thing to me. success also came with a crisis to me. Success always also has another side to it. And to me, my greatest success was also my greatest personal crisis. The void was very tough because for 16 years up until that day, I had oriented my life only till that moment. I used to go to bed with this dream and wake up every morning trying to make that dream reality. And that was my life. And one fine day, I had this beautiful gold medal in my pocket, all dressed up and nowhere to go, which created a huge void. I was also drained. My energy reserves was also close to zero because achieving that success took a lot out of me. It drained me mentally, it drained me physically. And that is a learning for all of you listeners as well, because sometimes when you're achieving success or you're achieving certain goals, or also in your day-to-day life, energy management becomes a very important thing that we often overlook. Just trying to, just manage your energy levels better. Because when I achieved this success and I had this void, I was also physically and mentally zero. My batteries were completely off. And at that time, I couldn't really think very clearly. I struggled for a year. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. I decided that at that point that I should maybe quit and I should look for something else. But I hadn't really prepared so well. So transitioning out of sport, I wasn't prepared for that transition. I decided that I should go on a Vipassana meditation course to just, regroup and to reorient my life and to understand what I want to do next and what my next calling is going to be. So I go on this Vipassana meditation course in Sona village in June with 45 degrees. And, the goal was to meditate 10 hours a day. For these 10 days, all I did was think back to my sport, think back on how I could get better at my sport. And that to me was a great learning. It was a learning that I really loved the process of what I did. And that really energized me to go for more, to try and achieve more, to try and get better. It is so important to continuously have that childlike enthusiasm in your work and in what you do. And I brought the spirit of work to play, but I think all of you can achieve great things by bringing the spirit of play to work, because it is going to make sure that you, of course, build teamwork, build camaraderie, build relationships, but most importantly, it will help you, keep that childlike enthusiasm going, which is going to be very important for you to sustain success and sustain that enthusiasm for a long period of time.
Yeah, but just come back again and come back stronger. Reimagine a tomorrow where you are part of it in a successful way, but in trying to do so, be self-aware and live in the present moment. Abhinav, thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Look forward to many more. Thank you.
Thank you.
So there you go. You've just heard from Abhinav Bindra. We also had the opportunity of speaking to eminent gynecologist Dr. Mala Raj. My colleague Shormishtha Guptu had the opportunity of speaking to Dr. Raj, and here's what she had to say. Listen in.
We have with us today Dr. Mala Raj, who is a very eminent gynecologist and obstetrician. She specializes in laparoscopic surgery and fertility treatment. And she is also a very proud mother because her daughter has won a medal at the ongoing Asian Games. Many congratulations, doctor, and welcome to the show. Now, you have a very wide spectrum of specialization. So let me start by asking laparoscopic surgery. Now, when anybody hears about a surgery, we women especially, when it concerns our reproductive health or when we are in pain, the name of surgery, it creates a fear in us, whereas laparoscopic surgery is actually supposed to relieve pain. So please tell us what exactly is laparoscopic surgery, in what circumstances is it undertaken, and how would you counsel women who are going in for this surgery?
Yeah, hi. Okay, so thank you for having me here. So basically, what laparoscopic surgery is all about is people should understand it is also a kind of surgery, but only thing is it is a surgery which has been made in a very simple manner. So any surgery which is being done in an open method can be done laparoscopically these days, but it has various advantages because we are making a very small incision on the abdomen. So suppose if you are going to do an open surgery, we make like 10 centimeter incision to go and reach to the organ and remove it from the body. But the same thing, whatever is the problem, we can tackle it through a small keyhole. Okay, so instead of making a 10 centimeter incision, we make a 5 millimeter incision. So that is why it is called the keyhole surgery. Okay, so basically the concept is like, why open the door when we can do through a keyhole? That is the concept. And the advantages are that whatever we are doing open, we are doing it laparoscopically, but the recovery, if you see, is very fast. The patients are able to get back home the very next day, and they are able to carry on with their normal activities. So the pain is very less, the recovery is very less, the blood loss is very less, and they are able to carry on with their routine work. So they do not have to compromise so much of time from their work or from their household activities. So that is basically all about laparoscopy, where we put a small incision, introduce a telescope, look at the monitor, and we operate.
Well, then it is a remarkable advancement, of course, and it's a great empowerment for women, and it promotes women's health. So how would you condition a patient if a patient is nervous before the surgery? How would you condition a patient?
Yeah, so basically counseling plays a very vital role in our practice. So they need to understand that it is also a surgery. They have to go through under general anesthesia for that particular procedure. But we make the patients very comfortable by saying that, like though it is a major surgery, it has got various advantages and it will be a lot more safer and simpler. So that kind of a counseling has to be done to the patient. So basically the mindset of the patient is very important when they are coming for a surgery. The patient should not be forced to do anything, like just because the doctor is telling that she has some problem and that she has to undergo the surgery, she should not come for that. She should have that frame of mind that is problematic for her, and that only her health would improve only if that particular problem is eradicated from the body. So that kind of a discussion should really happen between the doctor and the patient. So we need to really spend some time with them to make them understand first what the disease is and what would be the how exactly the surgery is going to happen and what would be the outcome of the surgery. So once we have a very nice discussion with the patient, then they are kept at ease. They are very comfortable and they have a very positive mind for the surgery. So when they come with a positive mind to the surgery, the outcome of the surgery also is found to be very good. They recover very fast because stress plays a very major role even in the pre-operative phase. Okay, so which could get carried on to the intraoperative phase also and can even proceed further to the post-operative phase. So if the patient is very comfortable in her mind just before the surgery, during the surgery also the same thing would continue, and her recovery in the post-operative period also would be tremendous.
Thank you very much.